We are Preston and Shauna, sailing our 1988 Catalina 36 around the Pacific Northwest. Between the two of us, we have 7 kids, and we have a little time before our nest is completely emptied. Join us for the next 5 years of sailing adventures as we learn the ropes and make plenty of mistakes, gearing up for the day we can sell all our crap and become full-time liveaboards, sailing off into the sunset. I'm really tired of things breaking.
I find myself on these leper streets again. Tried to resist, tried to keep from giving in so long ago. So long ago. Living in the north, repeat a terrifying dream. Just one more frozen body floating down the stream, I never know.
So we left early today, heading from home. From Port Townsend. We're skipping exploring the town today because late last night there was a huge water leak, freshwater leak, coming from somewhere under the hot water tank. Can't tell where it's coming from except that it's coming from under it. So I can't fix it and we're completely out of water.
Nothing can fool misery, she'll drag you through the cold. Awakened by your songs of joy on nights as black as cold. Nowhere to go, nowhere to go. A 1,000 miles of restless highway challenges my fight. Just one more hollow body screaming through the night, so far from home, so far from home. The city lights might illuminate my face. Go south on your map till you forget this place. It's so hard to find home when you're selling snow.
Okay, you can record. Here comes the clap so I can sync it up. What am I doing there, Shauna?
Drilling out the screws to the cover to the drawer that goes under the kitchen sink to pull out the hot water heater.
Yeah, there's dowels. Catalina covered the screws with dowels, so I had to screw drill out the dowels, which ruined the screws. And I label everything because my memory is terrible. Even though a lot of things are pretty obvious, I label them all where they went. So in case I don't remember later. Because I'm generally an idiot when I go back to put things back together. And obviously I'm using a heat gun because that thing was stuck on there super, super good. You know what's amazing about this whole thing is as you watch I don't know how long this video is going to end up, but it's pretty long. This entire project, not a single time did anything get heated, no one shouted at each other. You're not very good at this, Shauna.
Right.
I cut out all the parts Shauna was yelling at me, calling me stupid.
Yeah, I was the one yelling.
Anyway, even the heat gun wouldn't take this off, so I ended up having to cut off the last inch of the, and about an inch end of the hell's that called?
Hose?
A hose. This is a riveting performance. Wonder what's gonna happen next. You're such a good commentator, Shauna. Oh my god. You can try. Ay.
No.
Also, if you notice, Shauna is so good at holding the camera. She is steady like a rock. And that never causes any friction between us. How steady she holds the camera. Look at that. It's like no bouncing around. I don't feel sick to my stomach or anything. What's going on here, Shauna?
You're taking apart the pump of the toilet because it stopped flushing to...
Yeah, every time someone took a poop, I had to sit in there for, I swear to God, 10, 20 minutes trying to pump that out. And it got worse and worse and worse through the entire month out there. It was awful. So I took this entire thing apart and everything looked fine. I put brand new seals in it and now it works great. So something just wasn't seated correctly right out of the factory. I have no idea what because everything looked fine. Now here comes the best part. Why would I use gloves? You don't need to use gloves for that. I don't even care.
Please touch your face.
I just plugged the two entrances or exits or whatever with that towel just so it didn't stink. I mean, my shit doesn't stink, but everyone else's certainly does. So it was necessary.
Right.
I remember how I was draining the water for the to replace the hot water tank, so there's no water in the yeah. See how smart I am? The sink is pretty full of water, so I could wash my hands after this because there's no water in the boat. Smart. That's the other thing we fixed when over this last year I've been trying to follow the water trail, trying to figure out why our bilge is always slowly filling with water and pumping out, slowly filling. And after our long trip, I noticed that when the bilge pump was running, it was flooding back with fairly quickly filling up with water again. I went back there and found out that the hose was cracked and the fitting, the through-hole fitting, was completely separated. So somewhere along the trip it just completely separated, and every time the bilge pump, or every time a wave would come through, it let some water in. Every time the bilge pump would run, it was just pumping itself back in. So the bilge would look like it was emptying, but it was only emptying to the very back of the boat and running back into the bilge. It wasn't actually pumping overboard at all. So see how, even though we have this valve, I've routed it over these other pipes, so there's a little bit of an uphill. So if this failed, or it still has to go a little bit uphill before it goes back down. Is it going to stop everything? No, in a horrendous influx, but it has a natural uphill flow now, a little bit. So, and the last thing was putting some JB weld on the I guess you call it a hole that the alternator arm dug into one of the cooling pipes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, slowly, carefully, please don't drop me. I'm gonna hang on to the spreader while she figures it out the first time.